Hi, it's Trish Buchanan for Remax Professionals. So today I'm going to be talking to you about purchasing a condo. So that could be a condo building or it could be a condo townhouse. So all the same rules apply to purchasing obviously anything real estate. So you have to have good credit to get your mortgage, and you have to have enough money for deposit, for your land transfer tax. In Toronto, we have two taxes. Outside of Toronto, one tax, and money for a lawyer, and any sort of little extras after that. So, and then once you know what you can afford, then we know exactly what we're looking for. So are you looking for like a 1 bedroom or 1+1, which I personally really like is the 1+1s? Do you want 1 bathroom or 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms? It all really depends on what you can afford and what we're going to be actually narrowing down. And is it on the subway line? I highly recommend always buying something with a locker, because we never have enough room in a condo to put our Christmas tree or our snow tires or the junk that we all accumulate. And if you're driving, even if you're not driving, I highly recommend having a parking spot. At least you can attempt to rent out the parking spot, and for resale value, I would think that it's advantageous to have that when you're going to resell your unit. So once we can narrow out all of the above stuff, we can actually then, the most important part is the status certificate once you've purchased, have an accepted offer. So status certificate is where the reserve money, the maintenance fee money, is actually held in the reserve fund. So once we get that status certificate from the seller, it's then sent to your lawyer. Your lawyer then reads it with a fine-tooth comb, because I'm not qualified to do that, nor would I ever tell anybody whether I thought that it was good enough. I can kind of read the bottom line is to say, yeah, it looks healthy, but other than that, that's not my job, is to read it with a fine-tooth comb and go over everything with you. So the lawyer then, so when you have your maintenance fees, there's a certain money that's obviously allotted, that's paid out for utilities, paid out for things like the concierge, the gardening. And then there's a certain percentage that's always taken and put aside for future things that will need to be done. So for an example, we'll just say you're in a newer building. In 20 years, 25 years, they might need new windows, new doors, a roof. Something might need to be done to the underground parking. So that percentage that they collect, that goes over to the reserve fund, the lawyer can then look at how many people live in the building based on what they pay. Will they have enough money to pay for those future renovations, that they're repairs that it's going to be required? If it's not, if you think there's going to be a shortfall down the road and you're still living there, we'll say, you could end up having a special assessment. And what a special assessment is that it's monies that additionally that they didn't take from you, that you would end up having to pay. It's almost like enough money. They don't take enough money off your taxes, and then you got to pay the government. So if they didn't take enough, then you're going to have to pay the difference. And you have to pay that. If not, they can put a lien on your property. But they're very good about, helping people out. They can set up monthly payments, one lump sum payments. You might have to borrow money, a loan to pay it off. Either way, it eventually has to get paid off. If you were to sell your unit that has an assessment, you can do one of two things. A, pay it off before you sell, or once you've sold it and it firms up, then you can actually pay it off on closing as well, so that the new purchaser is not stuck with that assessment payment fee every month. But that is the most important, is you being satisfied with the status certificate, and that the lawyer sees that it's being run properly and well managed. I always encourage my clients who buy a condo that when they have the information evenings or the board meetings, and the public from the building can go, it's very, very important that you do show up, so you know what they're talking about, what people are thinking about doing, because there's always spenders, there's always thrifty people, and the spenders are always obviously trying to spend money out of that reserve fund because they wanted something. But again, it's you guys that get the final vote. So if you're not there to vote, you can't say you didn't know. If you've got any financial background and you're savvy with finances and there's a board opening and you want to sit on that, again, it's a fabulous opportunity to sit on the boards. They don't meet that often, I don't believe, but sit on that board again so you can have a say what's going on in those buildings. So once you've, you're happy and the lawyer's given you a thumbs up for the status certificate, we can now, when you're happy, and say, Trish, I'm satisfied, let's waive that condition. So now we waive that condition and we've waived the finance condition. Now you've actually purchased that home. It's now yours and you just have to wait for your closing. So that's really it. That's the only thing that's different about purchasing a home versus a condo is that status certificate. Other than that, pretty much everything is the same, other than, what you can or cannot do and what the status covers. Because when you go into we'll just say like a townhouse condominium, obviously you're not gonna have a pool and a gym and all these things in a townhouse complex. I might see the odd outdoor pool, but that's in the older ones typically, but not so much in the newer ones. They don't have that, but not all of them cover roof, windows, doors. You're on the hook for that, and some people like that and some people don't. So but you'll have lower maintenance fees if they don't cover all of that. So the only unfortunate thing about that is that if they don't cover those items and you need a new roof but your neighbor does too, but they don't want to pay for it because you want it to look all alike, you could have a new roof, but if he has a leak it could affect your house. So sometimes having everything covered is not such a bad idea. So because if the roof gets done, everybody's roof gets done. The windows, everybody's gets done. So that's the whole thing, is finding out in the status, especially a townhouse, what's covered and what's not covered and what you're on the hook for. So, but the rest is that it's all the same when it comes to, having it, waived by the lawyer. The best person is to read it is the lawyer, not your realtor. So therefore, let's get shopping. Let's go have a look at some condos. There's some great items out there to look at and some great units and views and everything, but just give me a shout if you have any other questions about the condominium market. My phone number is 416-471-9175. Looking forward to hearing from you.